Welcome to Create Wealth Through Franchising. I'm your host, Kim Daly. Whether you're a CEO, a military vet, a real estate investor, or simply in career transition and ready to take ownership of your future, with each episode, you're going to learn valuable insights and hear inspiring stories from within the franchise industry. On that note, my guest stories are their own. And as a franchise consultant, I do not make personal brand endorsements or earnings claims, but I do educate, motivate, and inspire dreams. Now, on to the show. Welcome back to Kim Daly TV. I have a special guest with us here today. His name is Usman Qazi. He is a yogasix franchisee in LA. Usman, welcome to the studio of Kim Daly TV.
Thank you, Kim.
I am especially happy to have you here today because I love the Expo family of brands and I am very partial to the yogasix brand. So I'm excited to have you share your story with my followers. So let's get them into kind of your story. What was happening in your life when you decided I need a franchise, and how did you end up at yogasix?
Well, so what was happening all around us was COVID and kind of a dramatic change in what people were doing and how they were thinking about the future. My background is actually in science and research. Well, that's where I started, and then I moved on to management consulting. So I was mostly in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I was working with life sciences companies, startups to large companies, established companies. And I think at one point, I started thinking about my future in consulting, to grow to sort of partner. I hadn't made partner yet. And I also looked at other opportunities in industry and things like that. Then we thought that perhaps investing in a business would be a good idea so that we can free up. So my wife is a physician. She and I were having this mind share over a couple of years. And that gives us the option of hopefully, looking at what else to do, start a business, grow the business, and free up, time for personal development, professional development, and things like that. So
you were looking to create more time and flexibility, or did you feel like your future in corporate America was unstable, or all of that?
I think it was more of the first, maybe a little bit less of the second, because I think I was not really seeing myself in a sales role, being partner, constantly sort of being on the hunt for more clients and things like that. Although many interesting things are happening, but I just wanted to step back and perhaps invest a little bit somewhere else before maybe going back to on that track.
Okay. And so with COVID, you mentioned that you were in this place during the pandemic. So during that time, were you also looking at how people were now looking at taking advantage of their health? Like, how did you lean into yogasix once you started thinking about, all right, I'm going to create a path for me to, build my own future?
We were actually in touch with someone who was marketing various franchises. They found me on LinkedIn, introduced themselves to both my wife, Shaista, and myself. We had several discussions. And then I also looked at the franchise concept, and I thought that would probably be more reassuring rather than just investing in a restaurant just to have it completely change its business model in COVID, or to invest in rental property and things like that. And then we were placed in touch with several franchises, and we picked yogasix mainly due to from our impressions of the team. We sort of evaluated the people that we were having conversations with, went around looking, did a little bit more research, and so then we decided to purchase a territory.
Hey, Daly Coach fans, if you're loving this episode, please do me a quick favor and leave me a 5-star rating and a short review. Your feedback fuels my growth and rankings and shows others that this podcast is valuable. Now, back to the show. I love it. And exponential fitness is, my followers know, they've heard me say that I believe that the exponential family is world class. And certainly their leadership during the pandemic was just unprecedented from where I stood, and watching how they just maneuvered through it, continued to sell franchises, open franchise locations as if nothing was happening. So it was quite amazing. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, by July of 2021, they, rang the bell on Wall Street and became a publicly traded company, because the pandemic barely mattered to their success. I mean, to them at all, because they sailed right through it due to that leadership. So I love that you identified that strong leadership during your process. So leaning into, they have 10 different brands. Why did you lean into yoga? Was it because that was what was open in your area? Did you have a personal interest in yoga?
So we actually first interacted with the yogasix team. We looked at other branches too, and we thought that perhaps Club Pilates was the oldest and the most mature, and there's already one in the area. Yogasix seemed like sort of new territory. And also, my wife and I, we've been practitioners of yoga. So we thought that the style of yoga on which yogasix classes are based, vinyasa yoga, that would appeal to the fitness crowd as far as, we understand their needs. And that proved to be pretty successful. So in our area, we found that people were really enthusiastic to look for, I won't call it a workout style of yoga, but still a more physical and active type of yoga.
Excellent. How have you found that your consulting skills have translated to your success in yogasix? Like the corporate skill set you brought, how have you applied that to being an owner in your own business?
So I think in general, the feeling about sort of customer service, customer engagement, listening more to customers, also thinking about our own value proposition and how to articulate the value proposition. Also, there's a lot of emphasis in the consulting world on coaching. So we tried, while we stayed engaged with coaching our general manager and the rest of the team, we tried different scripts. We made use of live events, grassroots marketing to meet potential customers. And now what we're trying to put in practice is the idea of our employee team as our internal clients. So, they also work with us, they get some benefits, and we need to grow and retain our employee team, which is quite a challenge in this environment where, in the post-COVID world, people just try out different things, then they move on, Yeah, so that's something.
Yeah. Finding and retaining good employees. Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. And
Not just teachers, but wellness advisors, the front desk staff as well. They're very critical.
yeah. So you launched your first studio you said in 2022?
Actually, our studio opened, we started construction last year. The construction got delayed. There were cost overruns. There are all sorts of problems coming up, mostly because of COVID. So a lot of processes weren't just working on different ends. So we opened earlier this year. We opened March 31st. Yeah.
Okay. So you've been open for, at the time of this recording, about 6 months or so, and you're off to a really great start, I hear from the folks at Exponential.
Yes. Yeah.
They're expecting good things from you, Usman.
Yeah. So, no, we are among the top performing studios at Exponential.
That's amazing. To what do you attribute your fast start?
I think it's, I'd have to say the Exponential team is very enthusiastic in sharing its knowledge, its skill set. The marketing people have actually fitness backgrounds and backgrounds in fitness sales. So I think it's a question of really understanding what they're saying and implementing it in sort of our world and our practices.
Okay.
And they're always willing to give feedback. Sometimes they get, they're very happy to give hands-on help. When our studio opened, the lead marketing person from yogasix actually came and ran the studio for a few hours, a couple of times, and that was extremely helpful.
Yeah, seeing how it can be done. So, did you end up leaving your job to dive into this sort of full time as the CEO, or are you bridging a gap with a job, and is your wife still practicing as a doctor?
No, we actually, I was working for myself. So I ended up working way less for myself. I didn't have a commitment with another employer.
Okay.
And then I think just a while after the studio opened, when we looked at how our business was doing, my wife also decided to take a break from her work.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. And so, geez, wow. And so your goals are to open how many studios and in what kind of time frame are you projecting?
So 2 more studios in this year and next. We're looking at the next location. We are in an area where everything seems to be growing. I think LA overall seems to be doing quite well. And especially in the San Fernando Valley area, we see new stores opening up. And so there's a lot of negotiation going on with landlords and
Yeah.
So hopefully, shortly we'll be able to close in on our next studio location.
Good. So you had some challenges due to the post-pandemic, all kinds of challenges in the business world, I think post 2020. So, but as you've moved through those, how do you find that your corporate experience has translated to your success in this franchise? And what are the good parts? And are there other things that you have struggled with in that ramp up as a business owner?
I think I'll answer the second part first. So, as a business owner, you really have to be pretty versatile. I felt that maybe had I been extra cautious with construction, had I engaged maybe an external project manager, things may have gotten on track probably much better and earlier. I also feel that who knows, had we retained a project manager and had they not turned out to be kind of up to the mark, we'd be probably in bigger trouble. So yeah, so I think it was dealing with a lot of uncertainty. I had no idea as to how permitting worked and other aspects of ordering and things like that.
Yeah.
So I think persistence is important. And also, again, going back to yogasix Corporate, they have a lot of cumulative experience. So they have opened a couple of hundred studios, and with them, I felt this assurance that someone knows what they're doing, even though I may not all the time.
Hey, Daly Coach fans, if you're ready to begin your own journey to find the perfect franchise, please email me right now at inquire@kimdaly.tv. My services are totally free for you. That's inquire@kimdaly.tv. Now, back to the show. Yeah, excellent. So I heard you say adaptability or versatility, persistence, leaning into your team. These are all great things when you want to become a franchisee. So yeah, that's very good. And so, Usman, there are many listeners out there who follow me because they're on the sideline trying to figure out how to make sense of all that uncertainty and dive in. What advice do you have for those listeners?
I think they should invest in really understanding and evaluating the franchise partner, the franchisor. Mm-hmm. They can look at existing franchises, understand how those businesses are doing. They can also validate the franchise claims that way. For example, the revenue projections that the franchisor will share with them. Those can be kind of looked at with a lot of scrutiny, and they should understand the business environment where they're located. So we are subject to City of LA regulation differently here than in other parts of the country. So I think kind of knowledge and understanding really would help make a good decision. being kind of rigid and insisting on one's own sort of ability to make the best decision and to think the best for oneself is not going to work.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, you're in it. You have to see the franchisor's angle, that they're committed to your success and that they are open to a lot of like public scrutiny as well. So people are watching the franchisor as they grow.
Wait, what do you mean? That franchisors can do so much and still be so wrong?
Yeah, exactly. So there are franchises, which make which are covered in the media, not necessarily always positively. Sometimes something negative turns up, and then you have social media channels and news sort of buzzing with, oh my God, just look at. Look here or look there. So I think that Exponential realizes that, and any new franchise that's a success really is a great boost for their business.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a great driver for their business.
Yeah. So you started this journey to find flexibility and control over your time within a very short amount of time. It seems you've accomplished that, or you're on your way to accomplishing that by retiring your wife from her profession and stepping into your business full time. Congratulations on achieving that. And I'm sure you're looking forward to just getting all three of your studios up and massively successful so you can serve a lot of people and then get what you want, which is probably a little nest egg.
Yeah, and serving a lot of people is important because really we are bringing something to the community that they appreciate.
Yes.
And so it's always really encouraging and even heartwarming to get direct feedback from members that, hey, this was what I was looking for, so thanks for bringing it to my neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We serve other people and then we make money. That is the point of a business. So well said. Usman, thank you so much for being my special guest here today and sharing your insights over your exposure or your journey with yogasix.
Thanks very much. It was a pleasure, Kim. Thank you.
It was a pleasure to meet you. For those who are inspired to begin your journey into finding your yogasix or the franchise that helps you get the freedom and flexibility that you're looking for, please follow the email on the screen right now or reach directly out to inquire@kimdaly.tv. That's inquire@kimdaly.tv. And until next time, my name is Kim Daly, and I want to be your Daly Coach. You can find more content just like this on my YouTube channel at kimdaly.tv. And if you're inspired to take the next step to explore franchises matched to you, please email me right now at inquire@kimdaly.tv. That's inquire@kimdaly.tv.